This is going to be your 2024 Tarot and Oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming year. So we're going to break it down month by month. We're going to go through the energies that you may be experiencing, and I'm really excited to do these readings. I'm very happy to announce that on my website, they are available to you personally. Thank you so much for the inquiries about when they're going to be up. Many of you really liked the ones from last year, and again, I'm really excited to do them for 2024. So what we're going to do is take a look at some overall messages before we begin and see what we can anticipate this upcoming year. And we have by the book. Now this is interesting. By the book, when I see this card, indicates that sometimes we're trying to do things by the book. And life doesn't always work that way. You know, there is no book of life. You know, there's no handbook, so to speak, no manual. You have to learn to do things by trial and error and through experience. And sometimes, you know, the universe takes us on detours and we have to learn through, again, those experiences. So we'll see how that plays out into our reading today. Now, this oracle says, blue moon, rare opportunity, make a wish and good luck. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a wish right now for 2024. Take a second, think about it, okay? And we'll see what comes up in this reading today. So, what else do we need to know? All is well. It sure is. And I just want to remind you of something. Look at the green in this card. Green is the heart chakra. Okay? When you're good with your heart, when you feel in tune with your heart, everything works out exactly the way that it's supposed to. Okay? So I'm going to put these cards to the side and we'll come back to them later, but I hope you made your wish and we'll see how this now plays out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Moonology card for each month and we'll see what we need to know. Let's start off with January. A win-win outcome is forecast. Well, we're calling this a Tarot and Oracle forecast. There's the word right there. So, you know, we're starting off with Libra energy in January, which is all about balance. That's what we want. We want to be in a win-win situation. And in February, ooh, this card dropped right out. It's time to release negativity. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's interesting. I find the first few months of a new year a bit of a blur. You know, sometimes we end up saying, where did January go? You know what I mean? Like it was just the holidays and we're so bright-eyed and we have these intentions. And I love the idea of setting intentions. I'm not so big on New Year's resolutions, but I like the idea of intentions, simple intentions. They don't have to be set in stone. You don't have to put pressure on yourself. But, you know, if there's something you need to release, like set the intention to release it. If there's a boundary that you need to make, remember, these things don't happen overnight. They take time. Now in March, we have your hard work is paying off. Exactly. It's consistency. This is what I've been saying. You have to be consistent with boundaries or the work that you do. Now let's take a look at April. I feel like it was this card that wanted to come out. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. This is the point. You've got to use discernment, okay? It's important to see things clearly. Remember, we marry potential, we divorce reality. So you've got to be very careful with the energy that you're putting out. So let's see. In May, we have your commitment is being tested, of course. We're always being tested. Your boundaries are being tested. Remember, people don't come to you and just say, you know, I think I'm going to stop pushing your boundaries today. I'm going to stop breadcrumbing you. That doesn't happen. It happens when you say, I'm not doing it anymore, okay? And let's take a look here at June. A time to give rather than take. And I will admit, this isn't my most favorite card in this deck because I think sometimes people hear that and say, let me give. My love language is giving. I just talked about this in another reading. You know, I disagree with that statement. Love language is not giving. Love languages is how you like to receive, how you like to be loved. And so you have to remember that people give more than likely because they want to be loved in return. And that makes things transactional. So when I see this card, I definitely think of the idea of an investment. It's time to invest, Okay. What is it that you want to invest in? I mean, that could very well be yourself, a relationship, a business. But investment doesn't mean necessarily that you have to give everything. You're allowed to receive as well. Okay. So let's take a look at July. And we have nothing is yet set in stone. And this is what I'm saying. Look, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's scary for people. It's the unknown. But when you're trying to control the outcome, we get resistance. So having the mindset that says, you know what, I'm going to set intentions, I'm going to see what happens. It's a beautiful thing because the possibilities are endless. You could end up having some of the most amazing experiences you never thought possible. Why? Because you weren't trying to control anything. So let's see. August. I feel like it's this card right here. Work through your fears. Work through your fears of the unknown. In September, you are good enough. You are good enough. Interesting that in September, that is Virgo season. You have to believe in yourself. I think the fear at times is, am I good enough? Can I have this? Can I really have this? Of course you can. And let's look at October. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Absolutely. Okay. And November, don't let your past hold you back. Your commitment is being tested. You know, it's interesting. I'm already seeing patterns when I look at these rows and columns. Bring love into the situation in December. How beautiful is that? Open your heart. That could be a relationship. It could just be living your authentic truth, following your heart. I don't want to start thinking about, 2025 yet, but I mean, isn't that the point of the year? We're in that point right now, thinking about 2024. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? How do we open our heart? Super important. Now, I just want to remind you that 2024 is a number 8 year, and in numerology, 8 is about abundance. Remember that the configuration of the number 8, to look at it as above, so below. What you put out, right? Think about this. What is your external world is reflective of your internal world. So we want to make sure that we're putting out the best energy that we possibly can. Okay? So let's go back to January. That win-win outcome is forecast. Queen of Swords, make the boundaries. You want that win-win? Make the boundaries. Cut anything out that no longer serves you. In February, okay, release negativity. You want happiness? It's one thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. I say it all the time. In March, okay, the Hermit. You've got to search your soul, okay? And this is about basically your hard work paying off. And I already see the yellow cards here, which indicate your solar plexus, which is your personal power. Okay, you've got to dig deep. In April, we talked about balancing spirituality and practicality. Oh my goodness, trust the process. It wouldn't be a Kelly Lorraine reading without trust the process. There you go. You've got to trust that everything's going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. And your commitment is being tested. Well, yeah, the devil. The devil's going to test you. And I would just say this. I don't look at this card and literally think the devil. I think of restrictions, addictions, codependency. Just generally feeling chained. You've got to make the moves. You've got to feel good enough. It's funny, we talked about, you are good enough. The orange in this card is Venus, the sacral chakra, right? Self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. And in June here, we talked about the investment. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. You got to believe in yourself. Strut your stuff. Walk around like you own it. You don't have to go around telling everybody how amazing you are, even though you are amazing. A lion doesn't have to say it's a lion. You just exude the energy, right? And in July, 7 of Coins. See, nothing is set in stone. Stop worrying. I know easier said than done, but this is a card of anxiety that basically says the seed is planted. It's not going to harvest overnight. Everything will be okay. And August, we have the Fool. Listen, this card said work through your fears, right? What are we worried about? We're worried about brand new beginnings. Sometimes we're worried about being a fool. That's okay. It's nobody's business. If we want to be a fool, if we want to take on new things, that's up to us, right? It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. Now, this "you are good enough" card, stop overthinking whether you can have what you really want. Stop worrying about or overthinking if you are good enough. Of course you are. Of course you are. And October, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Eight of Wands. Shoot your shot. Communicate. Put out the good energy. You're going to get what you want if you just put out that energy, that good energy, that trusting the process vibe, the not trying to control the outcome. So don't let your past hold you back in November. Yeah, you know what? I think there's some heartbreak that's going to pop up. You're going to be tested. I'm noticing down this row right here at the very beginning. I meant to say that earlier when I said I saw the rows and the columns, that this is all about your fears and releasing negativity. And look at the restrictions. One thing to ask for happiness, other thing to allow it. Do you want the new beginnings? Are you in the old? Are you in the new? My goodness, how many Kellyisms can I say in one reading? But essentially, like this heartbreak or this sadness that you're feeling, you're going to have to let that go at a certain point. You know, I feel like the vibe of 2024 is you got to tie up some loose ends. You've got to let some things go and bring love into the situation. Let's see in December. Healing. Healing. Look at that. 3 of Swords to the 4 of Swords. All about healing, rest, rejuvenation, and being ready for 2025. I can't believe I'm even going to say 2025. So let's take some Power of Surrender cards just to see what you need to surrender or surrender to. And we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Okay. Surrender to play. I love this. Can we just have fun? Can we just play and enjoy life? You know, enjoy the holidays. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. What did I say earlier? You don't have to overthink everything. Surrender to play. Enjoy life. Live life to the fullest. You know, we only have one life to live. We're in amnesia. I mean, I believe that we have many lives, but right now you've got to think about the life that you're living. Okay? So I wish you the most amazing 2024. If you would like your own personalized 2024 Tarot and Oracle forecast, the link is in my bio. It includes a 10% discount for a 30-minute or 60-minute Zoom session. Please let me know in the comments if this resonates. Again, thank you very much, and I wish you the most amazing 2024. Happy New Year.